Okay, yogis, let's begin. Grab yourself a block or otherwise pillows if you don't have a block, as we'll start today in a seated position. And for a lot of us, that's not super comfortable on the floor. So you use the block to sit on. You can sit with the legs crossed, or I am choosing hero pose, which is the knees bent and the feet drawing backwards. Just anything in which you can sit with an elongated spine. And take a moment to settle here, close down the eyes as always, and just begin to breathe. And so for today, we'll do more of a Hatha practice, which has more of an opportunity to really get into certain poses, into asana, and then hold and marinate and feel those poses. And then gently coming out. So it's a little less of a go, go, go kind of practice like we normally do here. And which is actually quite perfect in this crazy hectic time right now. So we just kind of slow it down a little bit. We strengthen and we'll stretch. And so just to begin here, a moment of stillness. Realize that many of us come running out of our day. So find length through the spine and then really send the breath going into the abdomen and into the chest. And listen to that breath as it flows in and out through the nose. Now if you've had a bad day, then feel free to take a big sigh and just physically let go of some stuff. We get really tight and really tense when we get really busy or just stressed or just busy again. Take a moment to lick the lips to force some softening through the jaw and into the face. If you're sitting in hero like I am, there might be some tightness that comes through the knees as we're in a big compression. And unless that offers any kind of sharp shooting pain, then breathe through that as well and just sit here. And if it really causes pain, then find any other seat or more pillows or blocks to sit on. Now let's take a mudra today. So we'll bring our thumb and our index finger together here, and that's just a really beautiful way to find some peace and some energy to flow. Really relax the other 3 fingers on each hand. Start with some 4-count breath together. Empty your lungs completely. And breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold a little longer. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. A few more rounds on your own. And just find a nice dristi, which means that point of focus, that stare. Reach 2 hands up to the ceiling. Big breath in, long through the spine. Right arm underneath the left arm. And if you need to, grab shoulders or otherwise grab the hands or the thumbs, whatever you can. Lift the elbows, hug the shoulders down for your eagle arms. And kind of knit the lower ribs back in. Feel that stretch come into the shoulders as you gently, very slowly move air from shoulder to shoulder, or you might take some half circles. Just really explore. Continue to lift the elbows, hug the shoulders down, and have a little bit of movement, a little bit of stretch through the neck. Changing over sides, drop the elbows, release the grip. Inhale, arms up to the sky. And then left arm underneath the right. And again, grab what you can grab here. Lift the elbows. Hug the shoulders down, ribs in. Feel the back stretch as well. And again, gentle and slow movement. Really no right or wrong here. Just see what feels, what gives, what you need. One more round of breath here. And then slowly elbows draw down and hands come beside you. Draw your block to the side. As we widen the knees, one more little stretch before we come into our first down dog. Bring the big toes together and the knees nice and wide to the edges of the mat. Tilt and tuck your tailbone kind of over your heels as we're stretching through the thighs here. Very normal to have this be more than enough, otherwise you might come to the forearms here, and this is where we'll stay. And again, scoop and lengthen the tailbone. And so we have that long length through the thighs without pulling onto the lower back. One more full round of breath here. Don't get falling into the shoulders. Really kind of lengthen out of the shoulders, so a little bit of strength there. And then slowly we come all the way out and ready for our first downward facing dog for today. So the knees might feel quite tight after that long sit in hero, and then obviously our thigh stretch. So just take it easy here. A little bit of a walk if you like. And then maybe a little bit of stillness as well. Really see if you can lift your sit bones a little higher and hug the shoulders a little higher. Feeling the back of the legs stretch here. Inhale, lift high onto your tippy toes. And exhale, ground those heels down as much as you can. A little bit of juice into those ankles and Achilles. Inhale, again, high onto your toes. Exhale, press the heels down. One last round for good measure. Inhale, onto your toes. And exhale, press those heels down. Little steps forward now. Really kind of scoop your legs into the hip socket, like you're walking on the moon. And just hang upside down for a moment here, a deep bend through the knees. Shake your head yes and no. Pour out any thoughts, any craziness, any expectations maybe as well. And we'll slowly curl all the way to stand up. And so we'll walk the feet a little closer to each other. And we'll take our Hatha today, so no sun salutations. Inhale, we bring the hands up, however. Really reach and stretch here. Cross the thumbs, and then exhale, half moon. We reach up and over towards the right side. Keep your armpits facing forward and your body nice and long and straight. Really kind of reach up and then go over, so your left side body will feel the stretch here. You let go of the right hand that's coming towards the thigh, the knee. See if you can lengthen that down a little bit more as the left hand continues to reach and stretch. And then inhale, coming all the way up, cross those thumbs, lift and lengthen up. And then exhale, half moon to the left side. See if you can push your hips towards the right side, lengthening your right side body. Keep lengthening over rather than falling or rounding down. Shoulders stay square, chin stays up, and breathe. Left hand comes down, and so you can kind of push a little bit into the left leg now. Keep reaching up and over. Let the shoulders continue to draw down out of the neck and the ears. Hold for 3, for 2, and 1. Inhale, coming all the way up. Cross those thumbs again, and then reach up to the ceiling and look up as well. And this might be enough as we'll find just a little bit of different motions through the spine. So lift your heart up and imagine my hands onto your lower ribs, lifting you up. Then don't get into the lower back, so instead start to kind of tilt the tailbone forward. Looking up, reaching up, and finding just ever so gently that back bend, which is a long, lengthy extension rather than kind of falling into the lower back here. For 3, for 2, and 1. Slowly coming all the way out. Take a big breath in, a mountain pose, Tadasana, big breath out. Good. From here now we'll come to chair pose. We know this one, right? Hatha, Vinyasa, Ashtanga, doesn't matter. There's always a chair. So let's get juicy into those heels, so heavy into the heels as well. And let's bring the hands to the hips here to relax the shoulders a little. Zip up through the lower abdomen and tuck the tailbone as the chin comes forward. And then really squeeze and work those glutes. You might even rest the hands onto the lower back if that helps you to open the shoulders. And we'll do a little moving work here. I'll lift my right heel and step my right foot just about 1/2 meter back. Light, hardly touching the floor, and even further back, straight line. And then back halfway in and step it all the way in. Right heel stays lifted. So about 1/2 meter back, straight line back. And just continue to move these little 3 steps in your own time, your own pace. See if you can get nice and heavy through the standing heel, your left heel. Last round here, back and forth. Working the left standing leg a lot. Planting the feet together, inhale, arms reach all the way up, and let's take the hands together, thumbs center of chest. Let's get ready to twist. And so we'll twist to the right side here. Elbow hooks on the outside of the thigh. Can you make that a fist here with the left hand? Bring the right hand on top, and then really push a little bit more. And so naturally we find a lot more of a twist because you got something to push on that fist now. Look up to the ceiling if you can. Squeeze the belly in, squeeze the legs together, breathe. Come back through center and stand all the way up. Mountain pose, Tadasana. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. So a lot of muscles being used. So if you're getting nice and warm, me too. Chair pose. So again, maybe those hands onto the lower back or onto the hips to begin with. Squeezing those glutes heavy into the heels. And slowly lift your left heel. Step about 1/2 meter back until it goes straight back. Very little weight, no weight at all into the floor. Halfway in and all the way in. Nice and slowly. No rounding through the shoulders. And no crunching into the right toes. Stay heavy in the heel. Take your steps slowly. Stay nice and bent through the right knee. About 2 more rounds. Just finding some muscle activation here, especially if we're sitting down a lot. So important to activate the glutes. Good. Once you've come all the way back, chair pose, arms reach up. Inhale. Exhale, sit a little lower and bring the hands together. Inhale, lengthen forward. And exhale, twist to the left side. Right elbow touches on the outside of the left thigh. Make that a fist. So the left hand can go on top. Squeeze the knees together. Inhale here, belly in, and exhale, find a twist. Work those back muscles a little bit as well. Weight into the heels more. Look up more. Sit a little lower. Breathe. For 3. Can you go lower or lift your chest further up away from the thigh? 2. 1. Inhale, come all the way to stand. Mountain pose. Tadasana. Big breath in. And a big breath out. Arms reach up all the way to the ceiling. And exhale, take a forward fold. Bend your knees, protect the hamstrings, lower back. Halfway lift, inhale, just because it's nice. Lengthen the spine. And let's step into a downward facing dog. Breathe in. And breathe out. And notice maybe the difference as well between that first downward facing dog and this one. Lift the right leg up, inhale. And exhale, step it all the way forward in between the hands. We'll come all the way up. When you're ready, get your feet in place first for our crescent lunge or high lunge. Arms reach up and breathe. Squeeze and lift through the abdomen. Squeeze the glutes to stay nice and steady. And then interlace the fingers behind you. We have 3 ways in which we'll go and fly. So have an interlaced fingers grip at first if you can, otherwise arms wide is okay. Lengthen forward, straighten the back leg, and let's slowly begin to fly. It's about 10 seconds. So slowly lift the left leg up. Square off through the hips. Chin goes forward. Open your heart. 3, 2, 1. Step it back, keep the bind. Find your moment to focus. Reaching the arms wide this time around. Not a big breath in here. Your full airplane. So now we fly with the arms wide. Let's go. And back onto the right leg. And again, the right glute should be working really hard for you. Softness through the right knee. Lift the belly, lift the left leg higher. Breathe as you stretch and fly. And again, gently, precisely step it back. Reach the hands up. Big breath in. Big breath out. Last one is our warrior 3, which means we'll bring those hands all the way forward. So keep breathing here. This one will really get you heart pumping when you're ready, guys. Find that drishti, again, that focus. And let's go and fly. Good. See if you've got enough space to reach those hands forward. Breathe. If you don't, you can always touch the shoulders. Square off the hips. Soften through the knee. Breathe, reach and extend. 2, 1. Inhale here. Back to crescent lunge. And exhale, just settle there for a moment. Big breath in here. And a big breath out. Another big breath in. And we open up to warrior 2. Exhale. Heel to heel alignment. So a little adjustment there. Lift through the triceps and just be here for 5 breaths. So try and suction those heels towards each other. And then check that your right knee, your front knee, goes over your second and third toe. Activate those glutes. Tuck and lengthen the tailbone. Keep the spine upright. Look forward over your right middle finger. Keep the breath in and out through the nose. And especially towards those last 2 breaths, see if you can get your thigh parallel or as close to as possible. One more breath in. One more breath out. And then bring those hands down to the floor. Come back, downward facing dog. 2 breaths. Now if you're an absolute vinyasa junkie, then you can absolutely take these rounds and flow here. But otherwise it's so nice to just get out of our habits and take a moment of stillness here. Left leg lifts, inhale. And exhale, step it forward. Take a moment to find your feet so they're not heel to heel, there's a bit of space. It's a big step. You rise up to your crescent lunge. So nice and long, squeeze those glutes, lift through the belly, and begin when you're ready to interlace the fingers behind you. So we're opening through the shoulders here. Breathe. Find that point of focus. Start to straighten the back leg, lengthen forward, and try and make it a smooth transition off to a flight. And some days it's just super smooth and some days it's not, right? So giggle to yourself if that's a not day. Stretch the arms back, square off the legs, soften through the left knee, breathe. And so gently, step it back, widen the arms, refocus, recenter, and let's go. Fly, arms wide. Square off those hips, lift the leg a little higher. Squeeze the left glute and breathe on through. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming back again. Still working those glutes really hard. Breathe. Last but definitely not least, right? Your warrior 3. Let's go. Fly and reach those arms. Big one for our cardiovascular system. Your heart will start to beat. Draw the belly in, lift the leg higher. 3, 2, And one, come all the way back. Find your balance. Squeeze those glutes and stay for a moment. Inhale here. Exhale, open up. Warrior two. Dare to make that a long step in a way that your joints are still stacking, so knees still over the ankle. Heel to heel alignment, see if you can kind of lift through the triceps, so arms are working too. Drag the heels together, so it's not just the thighs working. Lengthen tailbone. Push the knee off to the left side, just so you can see your front big toe, and then look forward again. 3 breath yogis. Deepen on every exhale. Last full round of breath. Good, inhale to stay. Exhale, hands come down. Downward facing dog. Big breath. Big breath. Lift the right leg up, inhale. Step it just about a meter only forward, so not very far. Your back foot goes flat at a 45-degree angle. And again, not heel to heel alignment. Coming up all the way. So your step is definitely a lot shorter than it is for your warriors. Your 2 hip bones are shining absolutely forward. And then we bring 2 hands again back onto the lower back like we did for our chair. Inhale here for pyramid. As you exhale, long spine go forward. And the idea, go halfway only, take another big breath in, is to directionally get your chin towards the shin. It's probably not touching, that's okay. And you feel through the front hamstring here, hopefully. Your drishti, your gaze is at your big toe. Check that your hip bones are still square, otherwise a little bit more weight through the front knee. And also avoid that hyperextension through the front knee. 2 more big breaths here. And feel with those hands that your sacrum is still nice and flat. You can have a cup of coffee onto the lower back. And then rising all the way up. And then walk your feet to heel alignment. So the front foot, I'll just walk a little bit off to the left side. I can now open my arms and face my body just like warrior two out to the left side. My arms are long here. We're setting up for Trikonasana. Reach the right hand forward like you're trying to touch the front of your mat or a wall there. And then right hand touches the shin, left hand up to the ceiling. And I'll show you as well from the side. So ideally we'll have a really long back. And so often this happens, the butt sticking out. So really scoop that back under and get super long through the spine. Imagine yourself in a tight alleyway. And you do not want to hit any kind of back or forward motion. If you're feeling up for a challenge today and really just decide that for yourself, you might reach that right hand forward. Squeeze all those muscles and really work those obliques, right? For 3, otherwise soft onto the shin, no leaning down. For 2, and 1, coming all the way back and stepping all the way forward to the top of the mat. Take a big breath in and a good breath out. Arms rise, inhale. Take a forward fold, exhale, wash that out. A halfway lift, inhale, weight into the toes, long spine. Downward facing dog, exhale. Left leg to lift, inhale. And about a meter and a half forward, so not very far. Back foot 45 out, not heel to heel alignment. When that's all in place, rise. Hands to hips or onto your lower back. And there you go, inhale, proud chest, lengthen as much as you can. And then exhale, chin towards the shin. Feel your hamstring, look towards the big toe. And keep those hips square, so a little bit more weight through the front knee again, sorry, through the front leg again. If you absolutely need to, you can always use a block or have fingertips to the floor. Make sure you're breathing right. It doesn't need to be Ujjayi breath for Hatha, but definitely breath through the nose, or if you're like really overwhelmed, take a sigh. Last full round of breath. Rising up, walk your left foot a little out to your right, so we've got heel to heel alignment. Your right foot maybe a little further out. Arms go wide, chest goes out to the right side, look forward, reach forward, breath in. Left hand to left shin, right hand up. Push the left hip forward, work those obliques, have a little feel. Your muscles should be so engaged here. And then if you chose it on the other side, you kind of have to here as well. Reach that left hand forward, really spiral those collarbones open as much as you can as you lengthen or as you stay. We do what you did on the other side. For 3, for 2, and 1. Coming all the way in and all the way to the front. Mountain pose, Tadasana, big breath in. And a big breath out. Good. When you're ready now, take the feet hip width apart. Hands to the lower back, tuck the tailbone as we lengthen. Soften through the knees a little bit as you lift your heart. And then straighten those legs, push those elbows, look up as you find your back bend. You might walk the hands to the hamstrings. Don't look at me anymore. Keep looking up. 3, 2, and 1. Slowly come out, close the eyes, mountain pose. Walking the feet back together to touch, big toes touching all the way. And let's come up into a chair pose when you're ready. Chair pose again, one more time. And this time around, straight away, hands together, just to center into focus, and we'll bring your right ankle on top of the left thigh. So you figure 4, and really lift your heel higher, so it's not on the kneecap at all. Sit your hips back as much as you can, hands together. And then just assess how tight the hip is, right? Stay here, or a little bit more weight into the heels, sit a little lower. You might even long spine, let the fingertips touch down, or elbows and chin. Good, but just do what works for you. Long spine though, no rounding, right? That defeats the whole purpose of yoga. It's all about long spine. Open respiratory system, lungs wide, chest open. And feel that hip opening. It's all you need to feel here. Take another really 2 deep breath here. And see if you cannot use your hands as you rise and lift the right leg up. We'll go to half moon, but this time your floor half moon. Meaning right leg lifts, left hand comes down. You might still have a block here that you're using for a bit of height. Stack those 2 hips on top of each other. 2 shoulders on top of each other. Maybe right hand lifts up to the ceiling, maybe. If you're feeling super brave today, you might even look up to the ceiling. Compromises balance often, so only do that if you're feeling super balanced today. Draw the belly in, lift the foot higher, 1 more breath. And then slowly from there now come all the way back. Mountain pose, Tadasana. A breath, a moment. Refocus, recenter. Chair pose. Hands together, weight into the heels. Lift the left ankle on top of the right thigh. 2 hips are never the same, right? So this might feel a lot better than the other side, might feel a lot worse. Good. Just being open. Sitting as low as you can. Weight into the heel. Never into the right toes. And again, if the foot or the shin is sliding down onto the kneecap, you have to lift it a little higher again. See where you can take that on this side. Yeah. Know your options. It's not always about going further, right? Breathe. Draw the belly in. 4, 3, 2, 1. Rise and shift. Half moon. Right hand down, left leg up. Use your block or not. Left hip on top of right hip. Left hand up to the sky. Draw in through the arms. Get lighter through the right hand, like you don't need the block or the floor. Scoop and lift through the belly. Lift the leg as high as you can. 3, 2, and 1. Coming all the way to stand up. Big breath in. And a big breath out. Arms reach. Inhale. Forward fold as you exhale. Halfway lift, inhale, lengthen the spine, wash that out. And then step back to downward dog. And again, any vinyasa junkies, go ahead. But otherwise, really find this moment of stillness here. Breathe. And take a moment to shift forward into a high plank, just to come onto a forearm plank. Elbows are shoulder width apart. You might interlace the fingers, or maybe you hold the block as such. And then start to walk your feet in. So we're back into that downward dog shape, but on the forearms. Press your head off the floor. Press the shoulders up high. Walk as far forward as you can. And then maybe lift the right leg up. Right foot down. Maybe left foot up, and again, push your head off the floor. Don't let it touch. Left foot down. One more step forward. Push again, those shoulders up, the belly up. Breathe. And then slowly bring those knees down. And come and sit back down. Hands rest. Eyes closed. Sigh. We'll come onto our knees now for camel pose. We've already done a fair bit of back bending, so it's a nice time for it. And so the knees are hip width apart. The hands go onto that flat bony bit, again the sacrum. Push the elbows back. And again, hips go forward. Heart goes up, look up, and find your best back bend. Looking up or behind you, but don't let the hips shift back. So really push the hips forward and the heart up. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. As you come up slowly, curl your toes and sit into your broken toe pose. There's honestly nothing better than forgetting about camel quickly, and that is to go into broken toe pose, because that will take your full attention. We have such a big flexion through the toes now. Baby toes as well. Close the eyes, take a sigh after that camel. Big heart opening. Can make us a bit overwhelmed or a little bit nauseous as well. Breathe. Once we're stretching out the feet. Two more big breath here. And again, maybe circle through the head like we did initially into that eagle pose. And slowly come out, point the toes, and either dabble those feet or simply come and sit back and think. And we'll stretch out the front of the ankles just as a counterbalance here. Bring the hands behind you. Lift your knees. Now, it is very common if your knees don't lift, okay? So don't freak out if your knees don't lift. See what you can do. If your knees do lift and you don't need your hands anymore, place the hands on the thighs. No rounding through the spine. For 3. Don't break your ankles. Be kind, yeah? Never go through pain. For 2. And 1. Slowly take a moment to sit up and breathe. Again. Good. We'll slowly bring those hands forward and we'll walk the heels to the edges and the toes just off the mat for Malasana or Yogi squat. If you do have a block or you need a block, come and sit on one. This can be a game changer if you absolutely are not great with this shape. Very unfair, this one. It's either very easy and pleasant or it's just absolute torture. So use a block if that's the second one for you. And you push the chest to open and breathe. And we'll work on a shoulder opening here, guys, but just step by step. So first things first, we're in our Malasana. Sit on a block if you're like, what? We'll stay here longer. Otherwise, the left hand reaches forward and the right hand reaches up. And so we're really opening through the chest here. Notice if the right knee wants to come in, push that back out. And you just stay, or if you can even maybe bind behind you. Looking up, breathing, lengthening. Then push that weight into the baby toes, last breath, knees still widening. And then slowly coming all the way back onto your full Malasana again first. Push those knees wide, breathe. And then the other side, right hand crosses on the inside of the knee, so it widens the knee automatically. Touch the fingers to the floor, left hand up. Open to the heart of the chest. Such a beautiful option to stay in, so really don't feel like you have to go further unless you can comfortably interlace those fingers. And then peel the two shoulders apart, the collarbones to smile and widen. Push the knees to open and breathe. Last full round of breath, push those knees wide, roll off the big toes into the baby toes, and then come back, same way as you went in. Push the chest nice and long. One more time. Good. And then slowly we'll come to sit down. Feel free to use your block again to sit on. We're making our way to the floor, so don't worry, not much longer. Good. First of all, here, right leg stretches forward and the left knee comes on top for a bind. And so the foot is kind of on the side besides the hip. Really flex the toes here. Maybe even kind of park your block there to make sure that if I'm flexing or pointing, it falls back down. We don't want that to happen. Inhale here, lengthen. You might be sitting on the block, right? Totally fine. Exhale, ease and lengthen. Feel the hamstring again. Done a fair bit of hamstring work already, so maybe your lengthening and your deepening is a little bit more possible here. Maybe it's not, and that's fine too. Where can you soften? Feeling all right, where can you flex maybe more? Get those baby toes a little bit more to your face. Okay, and then from there out, slowly we rise back up, and now it's just that left sole of the foot on the inside of the thigh here. Really hug it in nice and close and tight, yeah? So your right leg is still straight forward, and the left sole of the foot, really hug it in. Sit upright and reach the left hand up to the ceiling, the left hand up to the ceiling. Reach it forward on the inside of the left knee, so my knee and my shoulder are touching. And then either stay there again, you might even grab for your foot, or the left hand reaches all the way around the knee like we did before with Malasana, and you interlace the fingers again. And so from the front, I have the full bind here, the knee is on the inside. See where you need to stay, and it is okay to keep reaching for your right foot. Keep pushing your heart forward now. Amazing for our descending column this side, so we get that big compression through the left side of our digestive system. And slowly coming all the way up. Oh, yoga, right? We pretzel ourselves along. Left leg comes forward, right knee on top, straight in front of your chest. It might not touch fully, and that's okay, but make sure it's not on the sole of the foot, so the side of the ankle is down besides the hip. Inhale here. Either stay or exhale, lengthen forward. See if you can flex your toes. Relax the fingers, the shoulders. We'll continue to find length. More breath, maybe more sighs. One more big breath here. Aim to get your chin further towards the ankle. Aim. Rising up, right sole of the foot really comes like on the floor, and hug it in as close as you can. So give your thigh into your chest, a nice little squeeze without falling backwards. So lift up, sit on a block if you need to. Right hand lifts, reaches on the inside of the knee, so you should be able to grab your toes almost there. Hook it around if you wanted to go further and interlace. 2 sit bones down. Push your heart and your chest forward if you're binding. Otherwise, you can stay by grabbing the foot or just staying upright still and hugging it in. So there's always different stages. It is okay to not be able to progress with every single stretch, right? Strengthening as well as flexibility is such an individual thing. Can you pull your heart forward more and lengthen more through the lower back? 2 more breaths. Ascending column is getting a nice little squish here, thigh into that side. Breathe. And it's quite nicely time to come upright. Take the block with you as we'll come and lie down. Just for this moment, because we've had all that compression through our ascending and descending column and through the hips, pop the block underneath your tailbone, so that's your glutes rather than your lower back, and then straighten out the legs. Hip bones are the highest point, and so your psoas, that's the front of your hip, is getting a really nice juicy little stretch. Your arms wherever, yeah? Get comfortable. Maybe a sigh, but see if you can send the breath still all the way into the lower abdomen, into the front of your hips here. You've done a lot of work, so just take a moment to be, to soak into it, to nurture. You might feel some little sensations through transverse column, some movement. Finish with our banana asana. So bending your knees again, pop your block to the side as you lie onto your back still. Your legs straight and your arms kind of bend overhead, so you can grab your hands overhead, and most of the time you need to have quite a deep bend through the elbows. And I'm bringing my legs to the left side, so left corner of the mat, and my hands to my upper body as well. So you make the shape of a banana, yeah? Your right side body is long and is rounded. And then maybe grab the right hand as you pull over here. Stretch and breathe into the right side body. 2 shoulders down, 2 glutes down. It's the whole lot of space. Breathe into the belly. Come back through center, nice and long first. So legs back to the center, arms, maybe give yourself a nice little stretch, long and skinny on the mat. And then the legs go to the right side, your upper body, your arms to the right side. Maybe grab the left wrist as you pull it over, shoulders down, glutes down. Breathe into the left side body. Excellent as well for any kind of glands and lymph nodes into the armpits. You might start to close your eyes as well. Why not? Last 2, big breath into the left side body. Good, coming back through center. Make sure you're long onto the floor here. Take the glutes kind of to hug together and bring 2 hands onto your belly. And we'll finish with a couple of body breaths, which is a sharp exhale through the mouth. And as we exhale through the mouth and pumping the belly in, you can do this seated or lying down. And for today, I will be doing it lying down. And if you're not quite comfortable with the legs straight, it's really nice to do it as well with the legs bent. So just get comfortable, yeah? We'll bring the hands to the belly and we'll take a few really short breaths here, out through the mouth, and then pump the belly in. So it's a and then we'll go a little quicker together. Inhale, full lungs. Exhale. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And inhale here. And mellow exhale. If your lower back tends to be sore lying down, just widen the feet, let the knees tumble together like I'm doing here. Otherwise, your Savasana, guys. Shimmy the shoulders down, nestle the shoulder scapula together, and let your hand palms rest facing upwards. Wiggle through the face. Or maybe a licking of the lips. Settling. Softening. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. I'll give you 3 minutes of stillness here.
Yogis, I want to offer you this time to stay today in Savasana. Maybe just a minute, maybe about 5 minutes or another half an hour. And so I'll say my namaste here and hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Stay calm, stay zen. Namaste, yogis.